Om. 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 Om Sahanavavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryankaravavai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Kaivalyopanishad, mantra 10. ध्यात्वा मुनिर्गच्छति भूतयोनिम् समस्त समस्त साक्षिणं तमसः परस्तात् सब्रह्मा स शिवः सेन्द्रः सोऽक्षरः परमस्वराट् स एव विष्णुः स प्राणः स कालाग्निः स चन्द्रमाः स एव सर्वे यद्भूतं यच्च भाव्यं सनातनं ज्ञात्वा तं मृत्युमत्तेति नान्यः पन्था विमुक्तये सर्वभूतस्थमात्मानं सर्वभूतानि चात्मनि सम्पश्यन् ब्रह्म परमं याति नान्येन हेतुना. In mantra 10, Dhyatva Munirgachati Bhutayonim, etc. told. Dhyatva. Literally, it means having meditated upon. As you have seen, it can be Upasana of Saguna Brahma as a Shiva, or Nidhyasana of Nirguna Brahma, Chaitanya and Chaitanya only. That Dhyatva was further explained as it is Yad Bhutam Yaccha Bhavyam Sanatanam Jnatvatam. Jnatva meaning was given as Jnatva, having gained the knowledge. What knowledge? Aparoksha Jnana, direct knowledge of that Brahma Swarupa. Then it was told, Prutibhatyeti, one gets freed from samsara, Janumara Rupa samsara. Ayanaya anya panta na vimuchate, vimuktaye, vimuktaye, anya panta na vidyate. There is no other path to gain moksha than gaining the knowledge of this Brahma as described earlier. Now, this is further commented upon in the next verse, that is next mantra 12. Nanya pantha vimuktaye. This phrase, there is no other path. No other path, then what? That is being now explained. Says, a person gains Brahma, means gains moksha, discovers oneself to be the Chaitanya Swarupa, Sarvavyapi, Paramanda Swarupa, so Nitya Brahma, as directly as one's own true nature. And that is what the highest state, highest gain of human existence. Discovering oneself to be what I am in reality, in contrast to the erroneous identification that I had indulged in till now, since beginningless time, anadi time. So this, how it is so, how that Brahma is, what is the nature of that Brahma? Sarvabhutastham Atmanam. Atma. Atma word, if analyzed, it means that which is everywhere, that which procures for us all our experiences. Life means what? Santata Anubhava Dhara. Life is a series of continuous experiences. The experiences we undergo may be true to what is in front of us or may not be true also. Means it may conform to the knowledge of the entity that we are perceiving or knowing, or it may not conform to that. It can be an illusion. It will be imagination. In either case, it has to be experienced by us. The one that enables that, at whose altar all experience fall is the Atma. It is the one entity which withdraws unto itself the entire creation at the time of its dissolution, pralaya. Such entity can only be Chaitanya, pure consciousness, pure awareness, was before creation, called Atma, Sat, Brahma, etc. Before creation, in and through the creation, wherein from womb to the tomb, there is not even a microsecond wherein experience is not there. The experience may be desirable, good, undesirable, bad, so-so, or experience of nothing. Nothing in the sense, no specific experience that we undergo or we may undergo in the waking and the dream. Like in sleep, no specific experience except what? I didn't know anything. I slept well. I did not know myself also. But you can't express it at that time. After waking up, you recall. So therefore, all these are because, possibly because of it. That is what? Atma. It is told in the Linga Purana, it is defined so. So therefore, Sarva Bhutastham Atmanam. Sarva Bhutastham Atma, the entity, the Chaitanya, the pure awareness principle, consciousness principle, the very animating principle in us, which enlivens our inert body in terms of vyavahara, in terms of practical world, in terms of interaction in the world. So that Atmanam, abiding in all, in the sense that Chaitanya, which enables each and every living being, is one and the same, just as there may be thousands of electrical gadgets having different manifestations, but electricity running in and through all these circuits is one and the same. So also, in terms of embodiments of all living beings, need not be humans only. What they say, there are 84 lakhs of living beings, species of living beings. Not 84 lakhs being 84 lakhs species of living beings. Think of it. What vast cosmos is. We don't know even 100 of them. So, and then again, each species got innumerable members. In and through all the that principle which enables their embodiment, which is invariably inert because made up of inert pancha mahabhuta, made up of inert 5 elements: space, air, fire, water, earth. Inert in nature, but it is live and sentient. That animating principle, Chaitanya, is one and the same. Sarva bhutani cha atmani. All beings in terms of embodiment, atmani, in the sense their very existence is because of Atma Chaitanya. The isness, for example, I am, you are, he, she, it is. That am isness, are isness, is of course isness, to be. That existence, whichever is, belongs to this Chaitanya only. Sarva Bhutani, all beings, including objects. Beings are animate. There are other objects that are inanimate. They are inert in nature. Even their existence, where chit aspect, the consciousness aspect, is not manifest for want of sukshma sharira, for want of subtle body, for want of mind intellect equipment. So that's why we get the difference of inert and sentient. So sarva bhutani cha atmani, seeing the entire entities, whether beings or objects, abiding, existing in Atma. Then the cha is there. Literally cha means and, but it can indicate many other meanings. Here it indicates that, look here, what was told, all beings in Atma, Atma in all beings, it is not like keeping the fruits in the basket. Basket is the adhara, support. Fruits are kept in that. Adeya, supported. Table, support. Books on that are supported. Not that way. It is not that way. Don't think that. See, there is embodiments are there, Chaitanya is there, and in that embodiment, Chaitanya is kept. No, 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 no. As it is, as we have seen now, that the very existence of all object and beings because of this isness, and that experience etc. possible because of the Chaitanya. Atmani. So this, it can be clear by our famous example of Rajju Sarpa in Vedanta. In the case of a mistaken snake, not actual snake, okay? In the case of a mistaken snake in the place where there is rope. So that snake, where is it? It abides in the rope. And where is the rope? Is the basis of snake. If rope were not there, there is no possibility of your seeing the snake there. It can be a snake, you may mistake, or you may mistake as a garland, or you may mistake as a piece of stick. You may mistake as a crack in the earth, or you may mistake as some water patch. All may differ, but the basis is what? That rope. So in all these, what are they? Snake, garland, stick, crack in the earth, water patch, seen by different people. The basis is what? One and the same, the rope. And in and through all these, snake onwards, that existence because of this rope only. So this is way one abiding in the other. So that means what happens now? In our case, without exception, there abides Chaitanya, because of which the inert body interacts with the world. And this existence of ours, so and so, has got its basis in Chaitanya, the Adhisthana, the basis. In the sense, if Chaitanya were not there, it is just impossible for us to know even that I am. Even that experience, self-evident experience, I am is because of Chaitanya only, Brahma only. So in this way, both way, sampashan, samyak passion, passion, having seen, having known directly. How? Samyak means thoroughly, without any doubts and vagueness. Any doubt and vagueness is there, it is not knowledge. It cannot knowledge. In knowledge, you have the direct ascertainment. It is like this, this, this. So therefore, that sampashan, having seen exactly what it is, without any doubts and vagueness, Brahma paramam yati. Yati, prapnoti, gains. Such a person who has this knowledge gains, means knows directly, this is my true nature, Swarupa. So, of what? Brahma. What is Brahma? That which is the big. Literally, the word Brahma means the big, which has no limitations, which is limitless, which is called as Ananta. Anta, end is not there. No Ananta Ananta, which is endless. And this endless is in terms of three facets. What is it? Deshataha, space-wise, spatially, not other specially. Spatially. So space-wise, that's better. Space-wise, it has no limitation in the sense. Wherever space is, this Chaitanya Brahma is there. In fact, even beyond that, the so-called creation, it is there. That is told in Purusha. Purusha evedagam sarvam yad bhutam yaccha bhavyam tamritatva seshana yadannena tiroti. Atyadishta, there is there, it comes there. Atyatishthati dashangulam. dashangulam atyatishtati. Atishtati. Having covered the entire cosmos, it is still beyond that in the sense. In the infinite, that which is space-wise unlimited, not limited at all. Ananta. Creation, which presupposes space, is only a small part of it. Beyond that, Chaitanya, Brahma, free from such projected world, is what? Endless. Is a said that it crosses over about 10 angula fingers. In a sense, it is still beyond that. So, space-wise limitless. What does it mean? This Chaitanya Brahma is everywhere. There is no place where it is not, including here where we are. It is Kalataha Aparichinna. It is limitless from time standpoint. In the sense, it is not some entity born in time. The entity born in time was not there before, is not going to be there after its destruction. All the time, on the contrary, the time exists in this Chaitanya Brahma. Again, earlier I have seen, Deshataha, space-wise limitlessness. It is not an entity existing in space, which exists here, not there. Which is on the earth, not in heaven. Which is in the heaven, not on the earth. Not like that. Everywhere it is. Then it doesn't have Vastu Parichinnata. Parichinnata, limitations. Limitations on account of an given entity. The book is different from the table. Table is different from your whatever the tablets or laptop or whatever that instrument you are making use of, or cell phone, whatever you are making use of. It's different from the light, different from the vehicle, different from the tree. These limitations brought by the specific entity, which is not the other one. Book is not the table. Table is not your instrument. Your instrument is not a vehicle. Vehicle is not a tree. This is called as Vastu Parichanta. Limitation brought by the entity having a name and form. This Brahma means like this. Suppose if you say Brahma is, say, 100 feet tall, so much weight, anything other than that is not Brahma. No, such limitations are not in the sense. How is it possible? Brahman is everything. How do you say so? Because it is the very existence aspect, isness aspect in all the entities in the creation. So that being the case, no entity has separate existence apart from Brahma in the sense. No mud pot has a separate existence apart from mud. No golden ornament has any separate existence apart from the gold. No cotton fabric has got a separate existence apart from the cotton. Like that. The isness in all is because of Brahma. From this standpoint, we say Brahma is aparichinna, ananta, endless, limitless. From the space standpoint, time standpoint, all the time it is there, and objectivity standpoint, because all objects have existence in Brahma only. So that Brahma again, and do you know what that Brahma is? Paramam, Utkrishtatamam, most exalted. What do you mean by most exalted? Sab upar ka. What do you mean by that? It is independent, not dependent on anything, limitless happiness, which is not dependent on anything, which is all the time free from time, ever existing in nature. Can you spell out anything more exalted than this such entity? Because all that we seek in life is happiness, to the total exclusion of sorrow, and not for a just while, all along. It should never cease to be there. It presupposes I should also never cease to be. The so-called I also should live all along. That entity can be Chaitanya only, no other entity, including the body. The body embodiment can be that of a ordinary person or an ordinary creature, or that of Brahma, Hiranyagarbha, etc. Even Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, their bodies have to end one day. Maybe they are longer than ours. For example, every kalpa ends. When Brahmaji goes to sleep, Bhu, Bhuva, Suva are gone. Three lokas. Bhu means all Patalas also gone. But Jana, Atapa, Satyam are there, and they are the Brahma, Vishnu, they are still there. The Naimitic Pralaya. Then in Prakrita Pralaya, when the term of one Brahma equal to 100 Brahma Varsha, not our years, 100 Brahma Varshas are over, entire thing, even the Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, all these embodiments have to get dropped down, merging in Prakriti, Prakriti in Brahma, abiding there. But that Prakriti is still there to give rise to further Srishti at the right time. But in what is called as Atyantika Pralaya, which is nothing but Atma Jnana, Brahma Jnana, wherein that so-called Prakriti, so-called Maya Shakti also gets ended. What remains is Chaitanya Sarupa, Brahma and Brahma only. Therefore, and its nature is what? Paramananda. Even the world appeared to be there, it was Paramananda only. Unaffected by the Jagat. So, which is independent of everything. Dependence means sorrow. You are limited. You are dependent on something else. Independent. That's why Jnani, one Kaupiradhari, sitting under a tree, no guarantee whether he's going to get the next meal or not. Where is he? He's in his own Ananda Swarupa. He doesn't depend on that. Even the body falls, nothing wrong. But a mukshu body is required. For a jnani, even if the body drops now or after kalpa, immaterial because it's always immersed in the Swarupa, Paramahanda Swarupa. So, dependence means sorrow. So here is it, Paramam. independent, self-evident, limitless happiness Swarup, wherein there is no cognition of anything that we experience in our life during waking and dream states. Sleep, we'll see afterwards, some similarity there. Not that sleep, there is no sleep, but something of the moksha, state of jnana, some aspect we can see in the sleep, that Upanishad itself is going to discuss it. So paramam yati. There is no higher gain than this, than discovering our swarupa, our true nature to be this Paramananda, the most exalted happiness principle, self-evident, wherein you are not aware of anything from this erroneously superimposed Jagat, the cosmos. If not so, you are aware. You are getting subjected to all these experiences, which is named as samsara, a limited, sorrowful existence characterized by incessant transmigration in terms of birth and death, janma, marana, birth, death, never to stop. So therefore, this is a great achievement. So this is the pantha. This is the marga for moksha. If you don't get this by this path, there is no other path at all. Because this is not something that you do and achieve. This is already existing, your true nature. But you didn't know, now you have known it. So therefore, this is something which is, this pursuit is something wherein one has to know one's true nature, which one doesn't know. Now see, that Paramanda Sarupa experience by itself is also not solution. But one has to inquire. What is called Shravana, listening is Shravana, inquire, Atma Vichara. And first ascertain that hitherto whatever I mistook myself with the I, from ignorance, ahankara, body's identification, the body is gross, subtle, causal, none of this I am. I am that very principle which, because of which I am aware of all these things. So that should be the one. That is the path. Because the problem is of ignorance. Solution has to be knowledge. Other path is not there at all. Can you kill the imaginary snake by shooting or beating with a stick, etc.? No. Bring the light and see that there is no snake at all. Likewise also, in the light of Atma Jnana, Brahma Jnana, discover this samsari jiva is not there at all. All that is what Chaitanya Brahma, only Ananda and Ananda Swarupa. That's why this Ashtanga yogi, who by Ashtanga has accomplished Nirvana Samadhi, still, and that experience is actually speaking Paramananda Swarupa Brahma only. And yet, In spite of this experience, he is ajnani, baddha, subject to janma marana. Do you know why? He has got still the bodily identification. Ask him, who are you? I'm this body. I took to yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi, and experienced such a blissful state. It's called as what? The Punya Megha, cloud of Punya, means it rains Punya and Punya is such exalted state. I got. Again, he takes the Jagat as real. It can never be ended. And therefore, what should I do? I should always be in a state of Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Deha Tadatmya, Jagat Satyatva still persists because he has not inquired into its true nature of oneself. If he does that, he is the right person. For him, only 3 minutes Vedanta required because he has got already the disposition and he knows what it is. Oh, this is my Swarupa. Oh, this is my true nature. And all these bodies, etc., at the gross level, subtle level, causal level, in the state of ignorance, etc., which I took myself to be, is not my true nature. It's something coming and going. Jagat is what? Another dream. Is what I am. For such a person, that Jagat is there or not, immaterial. He can be in his true nature all along, because this is knowledge. So that being the case here, Nan, that is what was told earlier, Nanya Pantha Vimuktaye. Same thing now told here. Annena Hetuna Na Yati. Yati has to be connected there also. This Paramam Brahma is not gained by Annena Hetuna. Hetu here is means. Cause in the sense means. By any other means than this Atma Jnana, Brahma Jnana, one cannot discover oneself to be Brahma Sarupa, Paramada Sarupa, totally free from the samsara. Now, to gain this knowledge, certain prepared frame of mind is necessary. If that is not there, it is not possible to know this Swarupa. Suppose a person who has taken to this inquiry, Shravana Manana, etc., is not still able to be aware of what Swarupa is not able to get the Aparoksha Jnana, Aparoksha Anubhava. What should be done? Here is one means given. There are many means are there, sadhanas are there. One sadhana is there, which is making use of Omkara, taking to meditation based on Omkara, which is described here with the help of an illustration. What is illustration? Illustration like this. During performance of Yajna Yaga, first of all, the fire needs to be kindled. You can't what, use mastic, etc. to do that. That fire is generated, produced by a specific method wherein two wooden pieces are used. One as the lower block which has got a scooped place, like a half cup, as it were, scooped. It is called Adharani. Arani means one of the teeth, these two pieces, wooden pieces. Below one, Adha. And of course, just like a piece on it, it is sanctified by mantras, Vedic mantras. Other is like a churning rod. Churning rod. It's called Uttararani. Arani, which is above. Below, this above. They are also sanctified by what? The mantras. Then the Rutviks, by chanting the appropriate mantra, they go on churning them. Nowadays, if they do that. Should see where big, what is that? Big yagas are done. Like Atirudra yagas, etc. are done. Or the thing they do that. So they know how to do that. The specific Rutviks know that. Is a friction. So a churning, two are involved, and not one can do that. One will holding, etc. You can, I think you can see on the net possibly. There was one, even today, in Pune, there's one Vedic institution. They have displayed all those instruments which are used in the Yajna Yagas, different Yajna Yagas. Whereas this, they are demonstrating the, what is that, display, some photography, the film they have taken, and how that is produced. So by this churning, because of the very hard friction, sparks emerge. They take sanctified cotton by mantras. They get that spark in the cotton, and slowly they fan and generate the fire. That is the fire used for this. That is the illustration. Now you say, how it is done? So, figuratively say, you have to make use of Omkara. How is it to be done? Let us see now. Atmanam aranim krutva pranavam cha uttaranim jnana nirmatana abhyasat pasham dahati pandita. Figuratively, that's it. In this generating fire for yajna, there are two aranis are there. Two wooden pieces are there. Adhararani, lower wooden block with a scooped half hemisphere or a cup as it were. In that, a rod is kept vertical, the Uttararani, above block, above rod. See. Now here what is to be done? In this meditation, the block, wooden block that's below is what? Atma. Be careful about the word Atma here. The Atma is not Satchidananda Atma. Atma word is for everything. Whatever take as I is called Atma. For example, Kaivalyopanishad. Physical body, Annamaya Kosha is taken as Atma. One step ahead. Vital airs, prana, taken as Atma because the mistake is done there. Then Manomaya Kosha, mind is taken as I, Atma. Buddhi is taken as I. Ignorance is taken as I. But the true I is the basis of all this. Brahma Pucham Pratishtha. So here, Atma stands for Antakarana. Antakarana, the mind. Manabadhi Ahankara Chitta. Antakarana, Atma. So make the mind Antakarana as the lower wooden block in the Agni Manthana process called churning the sacred fire. Manthana is churning, sacred fire. So Atmanam Aranim Krutva, having made Atma, Antakarana, not Sajidant Atma. Aranim, that other Arani, lower one. So what does it mean? The Vanni Janaka, where exactly the fire is produced in that friction. What you are making it? In the sense, make the mind ready, pure to gain this knowledge, for which the mukshu has to get oneself what? Ready in terms of accomplishment for gaining sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, the fourfold qualification, as if you are richness or you are, what is that, wealth as it were, sampatti. They are viveka, vairagya, shamadamadi shatka sampatti, 6, and then mumukshutva. I think after this, what is that, this Kaivalyopanishad, I will take Tattva Bodha. Actually, Tattva Bodha is a KG lesson in Vedanta. Long back. I taught it at that time, even these facilities of recording, etc., were not there. So at least it will be for a novice, it will be very useful. I said, let me take it, it will be a YouTube. Anyone who can want that, they can also have it. Tattva Bodha, I got 3 texts in the mind. Elementary texts. Because there all is defined. Anything, all technical terms of Vedanta are defined there. One should have that thoroughness in them. Otherwise, while studying, you come across them, and teaching also they are defined at different places, but they are readily given as such. Then Bhajagovindam by Adi Shankaracharya. Tattva Bodha also is said to be by Adi Shankaracharya, but it is a question mark. Bhajagovindam by Adi Shankaracharya, which defines the goal of life and also describes vividly the ways of the world where we are totally engrossed, so that we will get the happiness, joy, etc. You just thread bare. The small text is some about, I think, 24 or 25 verses or something, 30 verses or something. So beautifully shows the ways of the world. My dear, it is not as you think. And if you go that way, you will get cheated. So better be cautious, cut the world to its own size and proceed further. So that is one thing. Third one I thought of, Upadesh Sara by Ramana Maharshi. Of course, my students, for them is ABCD only. Of course, those who are attending my teaching since more than 4 decades. Of course, many of them are gone also. So, because what happened, my text started rising at higher and higher level. But those who have come in between, for them, this will be useful. Ramana Maharshi's Upadesh Sara. It pinpoints the role of knowledge and the limitations of karma. Of course, with its utility also. karma can help up to what point, beyond which it is too much important. Knowledge only is the final solution. Is explained with a very, very briefly, at the same time with topmost clarity. That is the unique feature of Ramana Maharshi's text. He has not written many, a few only. He is brief, at the same time clear. So that is it. These three I have got in mind after this Kaivalyopanishad. It will be useful for many and revise others also, what they know about it. So here, pranamam cha uttaranim krutva. So here, antakarana lorani, making is what? Making it prepared in terms of viveka, vairagya and all this. It is just like this. In a botanical laboratory, you are examining a specimen. What are making use of microscope? But however sophisticated the microscope it may be, you should adjust it first. The guide will tell you this is what it is all about. You have got a specimen, you have got a microscope, but first you have to adjust with rough adjustment knob. Then go on making with the fine adjustment knob. It is clear. So also, this mind needs to be adjusted, as if like a focusing on what is to be, what is that, analyzed or discovered. So that preparation, that prepared mind is what here making the mind antakarana a lower arani. Then pranavam cha uttararanim krutva. Krutva has to be borrowed there also. Having made the pranava omkara, uttararanim krutva. The cha is that. Cha means having done. Having made the omkara as the upper. What you will ask, what is to be done? What do you mean by that? To make this, how Omkara has to be used for this meditation. You have to go to Mandukya Upanishad. The Omkara is analyzed. Omkara can be looked at in two ways. Vesta Samasta, as a one composite word. Avati iti Om. That which protects you is Om. Avati protects. That which protects you Om from samsara, etc. This samasta, compounded one. Other one, uncompounded. That is, which has the spelling A, U, Ma. Akara, Ukara, Makara. A, U becomes O, O, Ma, O. They are not simply letters. As per the Upanishads, Vedas, they represent something. And by this Omkara, you just wrap up the entire creation. Om. After that Makara, till the other Omkara comes, what is the silence gap is there? There neither A is there, nor U is there, nor Makara is there. that is said to be your Swarupa in the sense. Between two thoughts, there is a gap. However infinitesimal it may be, however short it may be, there is a gap wherein no thought is there. One thought ended, other thought started. In between, there is no gap. There is a gap. In that gap, there is no thought. That is the state of your Swarupa Chaitanya. Free from thoughts superimposed on that. It may be very, very minute, yes. But by reducing the flux of thoughts in the Antakarana, you can expose your mind to more and more such gap by distancing them. And in that state where no thoughts are there, what gets exhibited is your Swarupa Chaitanya Atma Brahma. So, in the Mandukya Upanishad, shortest one, this is explained, and mantra 7, which speaks of Turiya state, fourth state. All this made use of by this inquiry. You are making use of Omkara to such meditation. Famous, it is called as what is called as Panchikarana Dhyana. Here again, problem. They say this is something started by Adi Shankaracharya. See, that these are people who don't bother to study Shastra properly. Either they don't bother to care for the Shastra studies, or their mind is biased. All this Advaita, Mithya, Maya, Chadev accuse Shankaracharya. It is there the Vedas. Who told you all these things? So this whole is the Panchikarana process. Meditation. There are the Panchikarana classification process, not that. Actually, it should be called as Apanchikarana, but somehow it is famous in the name of Panchikarana Dhyana. It is there in the Upanishads. Why Upanishad? Even in Rama taught this to Lakshmana in what is called as Rama Gita. Exactly same thing is there by the Shankaracharya. Narada taught it to who? Dharmaraja. Bhagavata, it is there. Everywhere it is there. Upanishads are there. So that's why. In fact, I have written the book, Om-based meditation. Therein, everything, the detailed thing is there. It's based with Sureshwara Acharya's Vartika. Further explanation is there. And it is very famous, this thing. But one thing, it's not something to be known how to do it. Abhyasa, repetition must be there. So that is what is there, Uttarayana Kartava. And what should be done now? Churning. Jnana Nirmatana Abhyasa. By the Abhyasa, repeated practice of Nirmatana, churning, by reasoning, etc. What is that? Jnana. Jnana here is that vritti, thought, which makes us aware of our Swarupa. More about this we'll see in the next class. Om.
स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महीमहीषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं। लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु। काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः, पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी। देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः, ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः। ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। असतो मा सद्गमय, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय, मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते, पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ। श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः।